Hi everyone, it's Debbie May from Wholesale Supplies Plus. I'm in Handmade Studio, almost making a mess, but I'm here today because a lot of you have gone online and asked about our new fragrance formulator. So earlier this week we decided to do a little tutorial on how to use fragrance formulator and how to make some really cool products. But just before we went live, the purchasing department ran in and said, don't forget to tell them about washi tape. And we are getting in next week 30 or so different styles of washi tape. It's something that you guys asked for last year and we weren't able to get in time for Christmas. These are just a few that we're getting in. And if you've not used washi tape before, I've got to be honest with you, I had to learn about it. We're going to use the green one. What you do is you can use it to easily embellish your labels and your container designs. And it's made of a special rice paper. And you can see it's very thin. It doesn't stretch like regular tape. This is a bath salt we made for a different project a while ago. And you can apply it right to your containers to create a different look. I'm going to tear it. It just tears. I was, this past craft show season, I was going to lots of different craft shows and buying really fun things. And some people had it on their jars, not really as a safety seal, but as a way to give their customers the impression of, hey, it's sealed. And it's really, I think, kind of ingenious because it's got glitter, or we've got a hologram one, or if your designs are chevron. But it's a really fun way to dress up containers. If you do anything in the birthday party industry and maybe little make and take parties, kids love to decorate with this stuff, especially if they're like 8 or 10 years old. And it's fun for gift giving. So take a look at the Wholesale Supplies Plus website. We have lots of washi tape coming. If you don't see it quite yet, wait, it should be on probably by the end of today or tomorrow. But purchasing said, make sure you tell them we got tons of washi tape coming, which really means we better sell a lot of washi tape. So that's the washi tape plug. So really what we're about today is the fragrance formulator. Fragrance formulator is a line of products. They come in these really cool fragrance formulator bottles. These are fragrances that we worked for several years to develop where people could blend different fragrance formulator fragrances and they would successfully be able to formulate their own fragrance oils. A lot of people say, but I mix Crafter's Choice Vanilla Bean and I mix it with patchouli and it's great. That's good if it works for you, but you don't know if those base ingredients are actually compatible together and will stay blended. The fragrance formulator oils all have the same base. They all have the same ingredients so that they're naturally going to stay together. So that is why we developed it, is because people would go to craft shows and everybody had the same oatmeal milk and honey or the same strawberry fields. And you want something a little different. You want it customized for you. You want something no one else has. And Fragrance Formulator lets you make your own fragrance oils in a way that nobody else can get the formula that only you know. So, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the Fragrance Formulator system. We picked out 5 fragrances out of the 40 that we were going to demonstrate today. We have a strawberry, a raspberry, a rose, a champagne, and a fizz. These are not the bottles that they come to you in. They come in the regular fragrance formulator bottle. These bottles we use here at Handmade Studio, which is the retail store attached to Wholesale Supplies Plus. We use these bottles so that people coming to Handmade Studio are able to blend their own fragrances. So today, I want to show you what to do. So I'm going to take all these lids off, and I'm going to put them right behind because I'm notorious for mixing things up. And the big thing with Fragrance Formulator is you want to work off of the number 10. So any blend you make has to have 10 parts. It could be 10 drops, it could be 10 mLs, it could be 10 ounces, some part of 10. And that allows you to scale up your blends as your production size changes. So whether you're making 4 bars or 400 bars keeping to that 10 lets you stay at 100%. So one of the blends that I wanted to talk about today was, I've had this in my head to do a raspberry champagne because so many people do strawberry champagne. So I'm going to count out my smelly sticks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so what you do is, because it's all based on 10, I'm going to start first with 5 for champagne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put these together, and the sticks are really nice because there's a line, and what that line is that's how far you dip it into the oil. And this would be straight champagne, and it smells like champagne. Not so much the fizz, but it smells like a really good champagne. And I have in my mind, and I'm just inventing this from the top of my head, 2 parts raspberry, I love this raspberry. And if I put these together, and we're at 7 total, and I fan it, to me it smells a little dry. I may want something kind of sweet. So I'm going to take now, and I'm going to add only 1 part rose, because Valentine's Day is coming up. Oh, wow. I like that. The only thing is, I'm going to use my other 2 sticks for more raspberry, because that rose I don't want sweet, and I think this is a really decent blend for Valentine's Day. Yep. So what I'm smelling is definitely the undernote of the champagne, that's softer. You don't want it to overpower. That little bit of rose, and then the raspberry actually smells now a little bit more sweet, like a dry sweet, blended with that rose. So this would be, actually this would be really nice in a lotion or a soap. You know what I like is it doesn't smell like I'm not going to say that. It doesn't smell grandmother-like, because I love the smell of my grandmother. She wears a lot of Jergens, and I love that almond cherry smell. But this would be very, very nice. So that's good. So what you can do is, let's say you don't like rose, you can put strawberry with it. Or maybe you want your champagne to bubble a little more, and you could add a little bit of fizz. So in that case, you might let's take 2 of the champagne out. And let's put 2 fizzes with it. And we sell the sticks at wholesale. The nice thing with this is you're not wasting all that fragrance oil trying to get your blend right. I like that. But I think I like 1 fizz in place of that champagne. The fizz is quite a bit stronger. I like that. So that smells, I like that a lot, actually. Make sure you write that down, Abby. So that is how you use Fragrance Formulator. You keep to the number of 10. We have 40 different fragrances, everything from bakery to spicy to sriracha type fragrances. And you can blend whatever you want, different florals, musks. And feel free to ask questions. If you're new to Facebook Live, make sure you go to Wholesale Supplies Plus and hit the share button, and make sure you hit the join button, and that way you'll get notifications of our new and upcoming videos. But this is Fragrance Formulator. So if you have any questions, please chime in, ask questions, send your hearts, your checks, make sure we're doing what you want us to do. But otherwise, if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and push on. Our goal with these daytime videos is to keep it under 50 minutes, so I'm just going to keep pushing. So I don't know if you're aware of Soap Makers Plus. It is a Facebook group that Wholesale Supplies Plus sponsors, and it's a bunch of soap making enthusiasts that come together because we all love to soap make and we all want to inspire each other and share. But most of all, it's a group that it's really important to me that everybody's kind and nice and accepting and gives back. Well, one of the questions I talked about, or I posed to the group last week, was why do you think some people have trouble with their bath fizzies? I hear they don't stick together. I add more liquid, it expanded. I woke up in the morning, it has cracks, it has warts. And I started thinking there's really not that many different bath fizzy recipes floating around out in the universe of handmade products. Why do people have problems? And one of the things I found is people add the citric acid at different times in their soap making or in their bath bomb process. And really the people that have a lot of success are adding the citric acid last. They're not adding it with their baking soda and citric acid. Sort of as you go down a recipe, a lot of times when you're cooking, you go down in that order. And it's a little bit different. So today I wanted to demonstrate that real quick to you on why we might be having success here at the studio and in the lab. And maybe you're struggling a little bit, and hopefully this will bring you some answers. So I'm not going to weigh out the ingredients and all that on a scale because that I want to get through the recipe and the video very quickly. But what I am going to do is I'm going to read you the recipe I'm using. It was already pre-measured. So the first thing is 4 ounces of baking soda. Now, last time I made bath bombs on camera, you guys told me put on a mask. That's why you're coughing and choking. And you're right. If I was at home or anywhere else, or frankly in the studio and the camera wasn't on, I would put a mask on. But unfortunately, I don't have a microphone where you're going to be able to hear me through a mask. So I do have water this time if I start coughing. So if you're at home doing this, wear a mask. I'm not wearing it because I'd like you to hear what I have to say. So first is 4.8 ounces of baking soda. Next is 0.3 ounces of kaolin and clay. And I need a spatula. There we go. Sorry about this, guys. We cleaned up so good. Next is 0.2 ounces of Shea 50. And if you've not used Shea 50 before, it is a liquid and it has real shea butter in it. And it also has been solubilized so that it will go and easily blend into water. I like it because when you use it, you don't need to use the poly 80 and some of the other additives that people are using with their butters. It's already been solubilized. Next is 0.15 of alcohol. And what I'm going to do before that, I'm going to add just a little scoop of this pink. This is Neon Hot Pink Peonies powder, perfect for Valentine's Day. And if you don't have these little scoopers, they're great for the powders. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to be really hot pink today. And then the alcohol. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up really well. You can get your hands in there. And at this point is where you would add some of your fragrance. And in this case, I think what I'm going to do, we talked about the fragrance formulator and blending, but one of the things we didn't talk about is you're able to use fragrance formulator straight also. You can just use a single fragrance if you don't want to blend it. And let's see, I'm not going to use the champagne, I'm going to use the rose. And in this recipe, I'm going to use 1.5 mLs. sorry about this. I told you guys we rushed to video. We weren't planning on doing a whole lot. So it's 1.5 mLs of fragrance. And you can see it's starting to get a lot like that sand. And what I'm doing is right now I'm looking for any little color dots that might be a darker pink. I'm always surprised right now to hear like people, you know, everybody has their own thing, but some people are like, I want black water, I want red water. And then we get a email, you know, your black stained my tub. I really don't like, I take a bath every night and I use a bath bomb every night, and I don't like my water colored. I really use the bath bomb for the conditioning and the feel of the Shea 50. So think about that. If, you know, I don't really want yellow or brown water, I know that. So now we're going to take 2.4 ounces of citric acid, and in this, I'm going to put it in the other bowl. And I don't know if you guys are on our email list, but the Cocoa Pops are now in stock. And Cocoa Pops are, I don't know if you used to eat Pop Rocks as a kid, but they pop and they're really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in with the citric acid, and I mix up, and that's about a tablespoon. And we'll go ahead and demonstrate here at the end. After we make this, I'll grab a bowl of water. And now I add the citric acid and the Cocoa Pops at the very end of the mix. And the idea of adding it at the end is that you're less likely to prematurely pop your bath rocks or your bath bombs. And it just works a little better. So I can hear the Cocoa Pops releasing a little bit of their effervescence, but not too much. So you can see I have a nice consistency. I'm going to go ahead and take my bath bomb mold, put a little bit on each side. It's probably a little too much on each side, but go ahead and press it together. And then I take it and thank you, Kara. You go on both. Push together. And then what I usually do is I will let this set overnight. We have some here. I would let them set overnight in these plastic molds. And the reason is I get a lot of emails from people of, I set my bath bombs down and now they're flat. And this is the Crafter's Choice Guest Loaf mold, the 1502 mold. And if I do this, I just find that it's suspending, so I don't get flat bottoms. Flat bottom bath bombs. Wouldn't that's a company name if you want one, if you need one. There I am making a mess. They tease me. I always pity the person that has to clean up after me. So you can see how beautiful these are, nice and sticky and molding. Yes, question?
Yes. What other worldly soaps is the name of the company commenting? And they would like to know if she's using mica. Will the Shea 50 help disperse the color, the mica in the water, or does she still have to use poly 80?
So the question is, if you're using mica to color your bath bombs, do you still need to use poly 80? If you're using the Shea 50. And my answer is you should not, but as always, you need to test, because I'll be honest with you, I got to get back in the lab and do a little bit of testing. I have used mica in my bath bombs for over 20 years, and never needed poly 80. I have a suspicion that as the industry started to want more butters and complex ingredients besides just baking soda and citric acid, we may have pushed the needle a little too far, and that's why we now need the poly 80 to dissolve it. So if you're using a little bit of mica, your fragrance oil might be fine. I can tell you that Shea 50 will probably do great, but test. And so it's going to be the amount of mica that you're using and how much fragrance, and if you're doing a lot of butters and whatnot. So, so you can see that little recipe I gave, and we'll go ahead and post it later. I probably could get one more bath bomb if I really wanted. So that's it. Do we have more questions on the bath bombs? Nope. I'm going to go over here and get my bowl of water. So if you've not used the Cocoa Pops before, they sound really cool, and I'm going to try and get my microphone down. But this is what the bath bomb will look like after it's dried. I'd let it dry a good day, and I'm going to get down. So it is fizzing, and I wish you could see moving around. I'm just going to ask, did we in this one add SLSA? So there's nothing in this. You guys, there's no foaming agent in this. Look at these bubbles. This is all because of the Cocoa Pops. Okay, now I'm really impressed. Really? Is there milk in it? No. No milk, no yogurt, nothing. Look at these bubbles. There's an online video, I forget which group, they put the Cocoa Pops in a regular bathtub and the thing just spun around because of all that effervescence. So that's it. So today we talked about the fragrance formulator. I hope you guys really try it. We talked about Cocoa Pops, and it's more than just a bath bomb ingredient. It makes some beautiful bubbles. And if you could smell right now, it would be wonderful. We talked about the washi tape that's coming. And I think that's about it. Today's your last day to use the January coupons. You'll have the new coupons will be issued in February, will be issued tomorrow. We have a new feature in your wholesalesuppliesplus.com account. If you go in, you log to my account and go to rewards. You will see how many dollars you need to spend by what date to keep your level. I just saw 2 people that literally, if they spend 74 cents in the next 2 days, they're going to stay gold level. We're going to try and start giving you guys calls when you're that close, but you're going to be able to see how many dollars you need to spend to get to the next level, which means more coupons, more % off your orders, more rewards, free line jumping. And it also tells you the date on which you might drop down and how much you need to buy to stay that level. So I always say it's good to go gold. It means your orders are processed by a different team of warehouse people, and it's very likely your order will go out same day. So that's a really cool new feature that we added. You'll be getting an email about it soon. If you haven't gone over to Soap Makers Plus, it is part of Facebook. Over there, we have a lot of new fun things coming. If you tuned into our last video, which was Soapin' in Slippers, where I invited you to our home, we had such tremendous response to that. We've decided we're going to do it every month, which means I get a new pair of pajamas every month and more wine. So join us for that. I think the next one is February 22nd. Mark your calendar. Allison Vogt is coming, and we've already decided on a really cool face mask that we're going to demonstrate how to make and give you a recipe. It's something I haven't seen in the industry at all yet, so I'm really excited. And Allison's going to answer live a lot of your labeling questions on that session. So that'll be a lot of fun. Otherwise, I'm super glad you guys joined us. Please make suggestions for new videos and what you want to see. We're here for you. We want to help you succeed. And that's it. So this is Debbie May. Join us again. Make sure you like and share us. Have a great day. Bye.